Hi, Dean here with Green Elephant Studio, and in this video I'm going to talk about a recent update I made to my own personal recording setup, and that is the KMI, or Keith McMillen Instruments K-MIX. So I had a previous mixer which was the Allen Heath ZEDi10FX, and it's a great little mixer. I would recommend it to anyone who is looking for a small mixer, very budget oriented. It is, I think it's around $250, and it has an audio interface, built-in effects, which are two things that I absolutely need for my setup, just to simplify things. I don't want to have an external audio interface to record stuff. I just want to have my stuff plugged in and hit record. I have also, when I record, I record things dry, so no delay or reverb. And I want to hear the delays and reverbs when I record. So you know, my pedal board on my Mod Duo, I'll just turn off the delays and reverbs that I'm using on there, and I will use them off the mixer. I'll listen to here, but it doesn't get recorded, it doesn't go to tape. So that's what I want, and because recording dry and hearing yourself dry is a little unnerving. It makes me a little nervous. I don't know if that's the word. It just doesn't sound good. I don't feel good when I do it that way. So I want to have some delays and reverbs, and that's why I want it on it. So that's what you're looking for. You know, the ZEDi10FX is a great little board, but it just didn't. I had a couple things with it that didn't work for me. When I was leaving things, when I was plugging things in, I found some of my gear wasn't interacting with it quite right. So channel 1 and 2 on there has a DI input, and for some reason those channels just acted differently than the other channels that I have. This may not even be the board's fault. It's just more of how things interact. And so I made the decision to try the K-MIX to see if that would be something that would be fixed, because this pretty much has the same kind of topology all the way across the front. It does have these two mic or line inputs, but kind of figured that maybe it'll work a little better, and it did. And on the Allen Heath board, I was using a couple Ebtech hum eliminators, and when I started looking at that in the price of the mixer with the Ebtech stuff, I was creeping up pretty quickly into the price range of a K-MIX. So this is $599, and so I figured, you know what, I've had that board for about a year, I think a little over a year, and you know, I could probably sell it and update to this. This is also way smaller. I'm going to show you a time-lapse video that I made of when I changed over to this, and you'll see how much less of a footprint this is. And so that was something that was pretty, you know, that's just a bonus. This also has a couple more analog inputs into it. So I have a turntable which I wanted to always keep plugged in because I like to play my records once in a while, and also my record player has a line out on it, but I think the preamp on it's pretty horrible. Sorry, but this actually accepts phono inputs too. So if you just have a regular turntable with no preamp built in to make it into a line level, then you can just plug it directly into this, and this has the you switch it. You have to go through the K-MIX editor, I guess is what it's called, and set the inputs you're using to accept phono. But I think it sounds much better than the preamp that's on my turntable. And my turntable is the cheapest one. I think it's made by Audio-Technica. It's the automatic record player, and I mean, it works great for me, but it is the cheapest one around. So I may end up getting a better turntable one of these days, and this will accept it even if it doesn't have its own preamp. So those were just a couple bonuses for me, the extra inputs and the Phono Input. This is the time-lapse video I made of me changing over from the Allen Heath ZEDi10FX to the K-MIX. And as you can see, there's a lot of cables there. I had to unplug everything, got rid of 3 EBTEC boxes, and in the back right you can see I have the turntable. Again, really a bonus that I'm able to have extra inputs to plug that in and have Phono inputs on or the capability to accept Phono on the mixer. I did have to look at the manual just to make sure I'm plugging the power in correctly, but it's just a USB cable to my computer. And then at the end you can tell how much smaller it is than the Allen Heath. So it's just a bonus that it's smaller. I had extra inputs, and yeah, have everything plugged in and ready to go. Some concerns I had before purchasing it was the tactile, feel of this. Because I was wondering if, trying to use this as a fader, pushing things up and down, how's that going to work? And so, actually, it works really well. This rubbery plastic here it's very smooth, and it slides just fine. There's no issues with that. For smaller increments, there is a fine adjust button here. Once you press that, you can move it up and down from there to do any kind of fine adjust if you need to do that. I haven't really had to do that. I just kind of set it and forget it. If you really want to get detailed with it, you can always go into the editor and do it from there. And so that was really cool. It's powered by USB, so you plug it into your computer and it gets power from there. Or you can use the USB cable with the little wall wart that it comes with. You can probably just use your cell phone charger on here, probably. So that's a great thing. It's one less cable to have laying around just to power something. So I was very happy about that. The installation was super simple. Once you turn it on, it pretty much works like you think it will. You do have to go through kind of like, it's not menus, but in order to pan a channel, you hit pan, press the channel number you want, and then you'll have to pan on this knob right here. And it's not a knob, it's another touch surface. And there's a little bit of getting used to that because there's not this physicalness to it. But it's just whatever, you'll get used to it very quickly. Let's see here, we got the pan, we got EQ, compression, gate. The reverb sounds pretty good to me. The ZEDi10FX that I had a lot more, options of delays and other kind of, like, I think phasers and choruses and stuff, which I'd never use. I just know under the delay and reverb. So this verb on here works very well. So I'm very happy with it. I'm not going to use much of the compression EQ or the gate because in my home setup, it's just not something I need. But if I go out and I'm going to do a small gig somewhere, I'm going to mix some friends, it'll probably work out really well for that to hold down some of that. And, sometimes, I guess I can think of sometimes when I want a little compression, but, anyway. It's got these presets, so you can set this up for different situations. So for my own studio kind of setup, I have it set on preset A, and there's occasionally times where I'll do something else, and then I'll probably set a preset for when I record, so it'll bring up the reverbs to kind of where I want it, already set and ready to record. But otherwise, I don't use a reverb when I'm just playing because I want to have everything just plugged in, ready to go. I just mostly might turn on my my Novation circuit and just play a beat while I play along through my mod duo. And so, yeah, another great thing, kind of bonus I didn't realize that it did was this VU functionality. So you can actually see the levels bouncing on here as you're playing signal through it. So that's a nice thing to know if signal is first of all reaching it or not, and it's not just like a clip, clipping indicator. It's actually telling you how much signal is coming in. A little bummer though is that it is a little hard to see sometimes. I don't have it plugged in to show you, but I have a lamp in the corner here and it was just a little hard to see it. But on the other hand, I just set it and I don't really move from there. Once I get it set, it's usually good to go. So not a big deal. I imagine in a more of a gig setting, you might have this a little more in a darker place. But you might want to just put a little cover over it while you're trying to do, if you're like outdoors or anything. Let's see here. Yeah, so it just does everything. It's solid. I haven't had any noise issues. I have everything plugged in. Everything I do is line level, and they do offer a balanced signal. Important to use balanced cables. And yeah, so I'm really enjoying this. I'm really glad I did the update, even though it is a little more expensive. I'm going to scroll through their website here, and just kind of this is the Keith McMillen website, and there's just so much that this can do. Actually, you can use an audio interface, even use it as a control surface for your DAW if you want to do that. So it's kind of funny, replace this with the K-MIX. It does so much. So very cool thing. Because it is uses this touch sensitive material, there's no knobs to break, so you can throw this in your backpack and not worry about breaking knobs. No moving parts, so your faders aren't going to get all scratchy or your pots aren't going to get all scratchy. So I'm really looking forward to using this for many years to come and having no issues with it. So I guess time will tell, but the common issues of mixers are kind of gone with this. I'm very glad to make the update, and yeah, so that's it for me. I'm going to leave it there. If you have any questions, please leave them down in the comments section. Leave me comments. I'm always looking for feedback. Please visit greenelephantstudio.com. We do have all the Keith McMillen Instruments products. Of course, the K-MIX there, the 12-step, the soft step, Q Neo, all their stuff. So you can find it right at greenelephantstudio.com. We're creating new videos all the time, so please do subscribe, and you'll be notified when we've got new videos. So thank you for watching, and hope to see you in the next video. Thank you.